Welcome to The Explainer, where we get right into the source material to unpack some big ideas. And today, we're tackling something huge: how modern power literally shapes our bodies, a mind-bending concept from the philosopher Michel Foucault.
All right, so to really get this, we've got to look at this massive shift in how society, keeps control. It's a change that's so deep, so baked into our world, that most of the time we don't even see it happening.
So back in the day, power was, well, it was a show, a really brutal one. Think about the spectacle of public torture, the absolute command of a king. It was a terrifying, in-your-face display of authority. Fast forward to today, and power looks totally different. It's the school timetable, the office cubicle, the hospital chart. It's quiet, it's organized, it's administrative.
So that begs the question, right? How on earth did we go from that, the public executioner's block, to this, the quiet, detailed discipline that runs our lives? How did all this control just become normal?
Well, one of the most powerful answers to that question comes from French philosopher Michel Foucault. He broke it all down in his game-changing 1975 book, Discipline and Punish.
What he saw was that starting around the 18th century, a totally new kind of power started to take shape. This power wasn't about crushing the body anymore. No, it was about training it, optimizing it, making it more efficient, more obedient. Just perfect for the new factories and armies of the modern world.
And Foucault had a name for the target of this new power: the docile body. And that word, docile, is perfect, right? It means both useful and submissive. The goal wasn't to crush your spirit. It was to rewire your mechanics, to turn you into a predictable, productive part of the machine. And Foucault's go-to example for this? The soldier. You used to be able to spot a soldier just by his natural build, his inherent strength. But by the late 18th century, that all changed. The soldier became something you could make. You could take, as Foucault puts it, formless clay and literally mold it into the perfect piece of a larger military machine. And this is the brilliant part. Foucault didn't just point this out, he basically gave us the recipe. He laid out this precise four-step blueprint for creating these docile bodies. First, you control space through things like walls and partitions. Then you control time with timetables and repetitive drills. After that, you organize progress through these carefully planned stages of training. And finally, you put all those individual bodies together to compose one super efficient machine.
And if you want to see just how granular this gets, look at this. This is an actual excerpt from the book, and it details the precise three-part movement for holding a musket. It's taking what was once a single action and breaking it down into these tiny, timed, controlled gestures. And that's the whole point. This new kind of power, it works on a microscopic level. It's not about big, sweeping orders from a king anymore. It's about the exact position of your thumb, the angle of your elbow, the specific rhythm of a step. It's total control, right down to the fingertips.
So, who was the guy who pulled back the curtain on all of this? Who figured out the hidden blueprint of modern control?
Michel Foucault was a French historian and philosopher, and for him, this wasn't just abstract theory. His work was deeply tied to his life. From his early studies in psychology to his later activism, he actually co-founded a group to investigate prison conditions. All of it gave him this really unique first-hand look at how institutions of control actually work.
And really, his entire life's work boiled down to one big project: to question the things we just assume have to be the way they are. He wanted to show us that the systems we think are totally normal and necessary, like our prisons or our schools, aren't inevitable at all. They were built. They have a history. And that means they could have been built differently.
Okay, so we have this blueprint for the docile body. But how does that scale up to shape, all of society? This is where Foucault's idea gets really big and honestly, a little unsettling.
And this is the kicker in Foucault's whole argument. These techniques, these recipes for control, they were just too good, too effective to stay locked up in the military. They started to spread like wildfire.
So it all kicks off in the barracks, right? This is the laboratory where they perfected the creation of the efficient, interchangeable soldier through endless drills and absolute uniformity.
From there, that same model gets picked up and dropped right into the school. And when you think about it, it's so obvious. The desks in perfect rows, the strict timetables, the constant tests, it's all there, designed to produce a compliant, standardized student.
From the school, where does it go? The factory.
This is the whole scientific management craze, assembly lines, breaking down tasks into tiny parts, all of it designed to squeeze every last drop of productivity out of the worker.
And finally, these techniques even structured the modern hospital. With patient charts, constant observation, what Foucault called the medical gaze, the human body itself becomes this object to be measured, analyzed, and controlled. And the engine that runs all of these places? Foucault called it normalizing judgment. It's this nonstop process of measuring everybody, ranking them, and comparing them against some kind of established norm, a normal level of health or intelligence or productivity. And if you stray from that norm, well, you get corrected.
And this is the moment where Foucault's history lesson from the 18th century smacks right into our lives today. It forces us to look around and ask some pretty uncomfortable questions.
Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. The legacy of this disciplinary power is literally everywhere. Standardized tests that rank our kids, performance metrics at work that track our every keystroke, even the fitness tracker on your wrist buzzing at you to get your steps in, that's a form of it too. It's us disciplining ourselves to meet a digital norm.
Which leaves us with this one final really big thought. In a world where control is so subtle, so productive, a world where our bodies and our behaviors are constantly being measured, nudged, and corrected, what does it even mean to be free? Is freedom some big, dramatic act of defiance? Or is it something smaller, something we have to fight for and find in the tiny spaces of our everyday lives?